What are you wanting to hear from Intel tonight?
Well, from Intel, there's really kind of two parts of the story. One is, what's happening in the near term, what's been going on with the server and the PC business and insights into demand there. But really for Intel, the bigger concern over the longer term is the massive investment they need to make. They're behind on process technology against TSMC that's enabling AMD. And really the focus is on the massive investment that they need to make and at what point can Intel catch up. The earnings today will give some insight to it. They're going to have an analyst day in the middle of February, and we expect a lot more information at that point.
Yeah, what kind of stock is Intel? How do we look at it now? It's not a growth stock, I guess. Is it a pure value play at this point? I mean, I guess more basically asked, Chris, is why do I own it?
Well, we have an underperform rating on Intel now. So the answer that I give you is neither. Yeah. So, I mean, there's a feeling some in the market that perhaps it's a value stock because it is, one of the most cheaply valued stocks in the universe, and for good reason. They're losing a lot of share to AMD. Again, the fact that they're behind on process is well known. The issue is that the new incoming CEO, Pat Gelsinger, is operating as though it's a growth stock. He's spending a lot of money to catch up and pursuing that growth. And so if you're investing in Intel now, you're making a bet on really kind of 2025 that this massive spending that they're going to take place over the next couple of years is going to pay off for them. So you're looking at it as a growth stock, but the growth isn't going to come for a number of years.
The stock price is back to where it was 4 years ago, and if we go way back, Chris, it's actually lower than it was 22 years ago. It was a $75 stock. It was a darling of the street back in the year 2000, before a lot of our viewers were even involved in the market. I know it'll never be that again, but do you think this then is a strategic mistake by Gelsinger?
Well, I mean, the issues that are Intel's facing now are not Gelsinger's fault. He was brought in to right the ship. So and listen, it's a tremendously bold bet, and you've had him on before. He's told you that himself, and really it's a question of do I believe in that? Our view is even if that's the case, and I feel that Pat is absolutely the best person that they could have hired for the CEO. He's a longtime Intel veteran, incredibly smart person. But the problem is that they're behind, and we've never before seen a semiconductor company fall behind in process and then catch up again. So it's the enormity of the task that's in front of them that's the problem, and the amount of time that's going to take. And one of the things we kind of pointed out to folks, if you are investing in the stock for 2025, what happens during the next downturn? We're in an unprecedentedly, very strong time for semiconductors right now. We will have a downturn. It's a cyclical industry. And the problem is Intel's spending won't be able to stop because the spending is for technology to catch up, not for capacity. So during the next downturn, we could see, close to $30 billion in CapEx in a declining market. And that's one of the things that concerns me in making a bet on Intel now to get paid for 24, 25. Yep.
Chris, very quickly, is there one stock we should own right now?
Yeah, one of our favorites in the group right now is Qualcomm, and it's mainly about handsets and about the recovery that's going on in that space, and the continuation of 5G. But there's another point of Qualcomm as well, which is the growth outside of handsets, and they did a very good job in the Analyst Day last November in providing a story outside of handsets, and that's a stock that's also not that very highly valued at a high teens valuation.